slowly streaming. Press the button. Give me a sec. Loading. Okay, we are live now.
Thank you very much to Bojana Fabel as well as to Nemanja Nedic, and they are from M-House Media, who are helping us with the technical side of this broadcast on YouTube. A very special hello to every single one of you. Thank you so much for joining us today as we continue our series with introducing you to the Mohanji Foundation's global counselors. They're the first global counselors that have been appointed by Mohanji in February. So we've already started the series about 3 weeks ago. This is the 4th week now. But before we bring in our next two guests, the next two counselors who have been handpicked by Mohanji to serve as first counselors on the council, may we take this opportunity to wish you a very blessed Easter in the peace of the Christ. And more so, may it be a blessed one for you and your family. So now, welcome again, and thank you so much. Without further ado, I'm going to bring in the first of our counselors that we're going to be talking to today, and he is Vijay Ramanaidoo. Thank you, Vijay, for being here with us. It's such a pleasure. I know it's Easter Sunday, and you could jolly well have been with family and so on, but you have this commitment and this love to serve, and here you are. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Ami. Happy Easter to you and all the viewers as well.
Thank you very much. Vijay, you have had long years of association connection as well as service with the Mohanji Foundation, serving as a senior member on very many platforms, including what was called the Mohanji International Board, which has now sort of progressed into the Mohanji Foundation Global Council of 9. Now, you've had a front row seat with its progress. I would love for you're better positioned than anyone else to actually give us an overview of the progression of how this came to be from MIB to the Council 9 now.
Sure. Thank you, Ami. So I've had the privilege of being associated with Mohanji for about 14 years now. And I've seen how the organization growed from basically just the one organization to now where it is right now. And I've seen how the structural basis of the organization has also evolved over that time. So first of all, as we started getting more foundations registered, then that was structured into a team of ambassadors. After that, then that progressed into a structure called MIB, or Mohanji International Board. So there was a few people that were on that board that were taking the main decisions. Then subsequently that grew into a registered organization based in Switzerland called the Mohanji International Foundation. And I see that the Mohanji Foundation Council is actually a natural progression from that, as we've now taken a great leap in evolution from those early days.
It's grown much bigger as well from the people that served on the international board, the Mohanji International Board, now to the Global Council of 9. What are your views about this progression and seeing this council now with 9 members? What are your feelings about this, and how do you see this progressing as a cohesive council in the due course of running things? Council of 9.
I think that when you look at the council members, you see people who are extremely, very closely associated with Mohanji, and a lot of them have been associated with Mohanji for a very, very long time. You look at Devi, Rajesh Kamat, Madhu, etc. So many of them have got vast experience, and I speak about Ashtamoorthy and Ganesh as well. And some of us are heads of our boards, as the country boards as well. So we bring that experience, and I think each one of us has got different qualities and different experiences and different levels of expertise that I think can all come together quite nicely to get a objective and rounded kind of decision making, and everybody has their own unique insight and can give their own unique input. And I think having that council of 9 and having a sort of more democratic structure, I think is a great progression.
Okay, we're going to get back to you in a little while. I'm going to bring in our dear Ashtamoorthy now, who is joining us from Virginia. Actually, Vijay is joining us from the United Kingdom, England, United Kingdom. Yes, Ashtamoorthy now. He's joining us from Virginia in the US. Hello there to you. Thank you so much for being here, Ashtamoorthy.
Hey, great to be here. Thank you, Amy, and thank you,
Uh,
Vijay.
Like Vijay as well, and many of the council members who have been appointed, Ashtamoorthy, you have also had a very long years of service with the Mohanji Foundation. Also, in a very special capacity, I wouldn't say various capacities, but I would say very special capacity, right? But you've always played a very, very background role. And today, I think for many of the family of Mohanji Foundation, or even beyond that, we put a face to Ashtamoorthy, and so that's very nice.
Thank you for putting it that way, Amy. But it's like you see, the main teaching you, as you all know, Mohanji wants you is like the person has to be you, right? And you get out of all your comfort zones and then get out there in front, and you see these comfort zones that brings in a little bit of a complacency. So I've been very comfortable playing in the background, but now he put a yoke on my shoulders and he say, go till the land, bring the money in or buy the money. So I cannot stay there anymore. So I've been just put in here, and thank you, Amy, for whatever you are doing.
Oh, bless you, Ashtamoorthy. Thank you very much. Yes, I would say I said a very important role a little while ago, right? And I meant to also add to that, and you brought that in. You are the money man within the foundation, so I think a very popular man at that. Handling all the finances with Mohanji Foundation. Would you like to talk to us about your experiences within this field and how this is helping you in service to Mohanji Foundation?
Yeah, that's one good thing. Like I had some skills which I had taken along the way, right? I mean, you had to make a living, so somehow numbers don't talk back to you. So I took a liking to the numbers early on. So I ended up doing a chartered accountancy in India and then a CPA in the US. So that's how I picked up some skills here and there. And I am a CFO in a technology company here in Virginia. We do a lot of federal contracting work that comes in handy and we also had a subsidiary back in India. So for a while, I was just doing both of those, at least overseeing both. And early on, when I passed out of the CA, I had this, like, you see, you're in your 20s, you're so idealist. And I come from a place where communism is so much accepted. And in your 20s, you are so idealistic, you'll be like, oh, you have to do something for the world, right? So when I passed out, my first intention was to, okay, I had to go get a job or do something like in the big organizations or in a global setting, so to say. Then I looked around, I saw UN, World Bank, IMF, but those are all big names. Those are all good, but what they do or what they preach and what they actually do was a little bit of a discounted, especially when I started the job in US. IMF was our client for a long, long time. So how they preach around the world and what they do was very, very, very much discordant. So I got a little bit off track. I didn't want to do anything with that. Okay, I said, okay, just live the life. And now this Mohanji came along, and I've been known Mohanji and his family for some time, and then
okay, all right. So we'll get back to that. Just hold that thought, Ashtamoorthy. And if I may please ask for you to just raise your volume and just a tad, that's going to be really helpful, a little bit more. And
okay.
then Ashtamoorthy has also spoken about, what Mohanji talks about, the uniqueness of everyone. There's nobody, no higher, no lower. Everyone is be you. And you have certain unique qualities that you bring to the foundation, you have brought to the foundation. And also now, you also have always carried this air of seniority and credibility. And that's a compliment when I say, like, you've always been viewed as a senior member of the council, and there was this air of always an air of credibility about you, and people listened to you. So that's from my view. Let's look at the unique qualities that you bring now as a councillor to the Council of Nine.
Yeah, it's mostly
That's
the
for
numbers.
Vijay. That's for Vijay. Do you hear me, Vijay?
Yes, I can hear you. Yeah. I would say in terms of unique qualities, I've got a scientific background, and I think in general I'm quite analytical, and like to look at things quite objectively. I think that type of thinking is predominant in me, and sometimes I think it ends up with me thinking slightly differently to the ways other people think, and I think that all adds to the mix in terms of making a rounded decision. So sometimes I often find that basically my thinking or my ideas can be at variance with other people. Not all the time, but in certain situations, because I think quite analytically. I also like to think I'm quite creative as well. And obviously, I've had a lot of experience, not just with the Mohanji Foundation, but within the Sai organization, and also my association with Scandervale as well. And also having my finger in different platforms of the foundation. There's Mohanji Foundation, NAC Foundation, and also the Act for Hunger. So having that experience in many different platforms, I think, has also helped me have a unique perspective and have my unique contribution to the council.
Awesome, Vijay. Ashtamoorthy, right. And please, let's make this like pretty conversational. And if you feel that you just need to come in, like, for example, if Ashtamoorthy is saying something and you need to expand on that, and vice versa, Ashtamoorthy, you feel that you need to expand on something that Vijay says, please feel free to come through and make this nice and like a three-way conversation instead of question and answer, right? So also your association, Ashtamoorthy, with Mohanji goes way back before 2013. So you joined the Mohanji Foundation in 2013. Your connection or your relationship with Mohanji extends beyond, before that. Let's hear about that.
Yeah, we have known, the families have known since early 70s or even before. I don't know, like my dad and everybody, they were close. So that relationship was always there, and that helped a lot, because otherwise, you see, you're all skeptical, right? It's always hard. Like growing up, you have this skepticism about people with long hair and a beard and all that. So, to be frank, so you have to get over. So that helped. Like you have seen seen Mohanji, how he was, and then he's showing the world what is possible, how to live in this place. So that was a big revelation, and that helped a lot to it made it really easy, so to say. Easy in the sense, at least to start off, and then everything is you. You will get uh, what do you call, knocked around here and there. So, but that to help with that conviction and to stay the course, it really helped. Yeah. And as Vijay said, okay, he said his analytic mind. He always say, okay, I come up with all the complex Excel sheets, and this guy is so crazy because he analyzes the spreadsheet and make it so simple for people to understand. So that's really appreciated, Vijay.
Wow. You say, knocked about. I have this vision of this man with the long hair and long beard, panel beating you, or panel beating the personality out of you,
No, no,
knocking you
it's not.
into shape.
No,
Yeah.
no. Yeah. I mean, even this, right? If you look at it, okay, why do you want to put me in front of this place? I mean, talking to you, that itself is happening. So it's bringing somebody out of somewhere, and then it's not out of uh, in the sense like you had to talk about how you were before and how you are now. You have to uh, in order that you contribute to the organization as such, you have to live that as naturally and as coolly as you, right? Not
Yeah.
getting and the whole thing is about stability. That stability has to show, and if that has to show, then you have to live that, and you cannot fake it. So that's what I meant. It's not anything
Mhm.
literal, or even he hasn't even scolded me. So he has been very kind, and that love always has been the force which transcends people.
Well, Vijay, isn't he the lucky one? He hasn't been scolded. He's just been like, kind of panel beaten in shape. Well, very, very lucky person. Vijay, I know that you're getting to know Mohanji, you're coming into his ambit, getting to know him. That also takes you many years back, right? What brought you into the field of Mohanji?
It's quite an unusual story and quite long, but I'm not going to go into the details. But basically, it started off with a dream of Satya Sai Baba, who basically told me to go for a job in Oman. And cut a long story short, I went there and made some friends there. And then after a few years coming back to London, I met them in 2010, and then they'd stayed in Oman, and then they told me about their spiritual master that they'd met. And they gave me an iCard, and I was, uh, not very receptive. I was quite skeptical, and but out of respect to them, I thought I'll read some of their blogs and this master's blogs, and having read that, that really connected with me very, very strongly. And then soon after that, I had a dream. Actually, I was in a hall, and then I saw this man with a robe and long hair walking along with a few people in white walking behind him. And he just came up to me. He pushed me on one side of the shoulder, then the other, and he took something, which is something subtle, and threw it out of my body, and then hit me on my third eye like this. And then I woke up, and I told my wife, I had this dream of this person, and it seems a bit like that man that Dipali was talking about. And she thought, oh, maybe it's Babaji or something, but I was convinced it was Mohanji. And so I started reading more, and I got the Power of Purity meditation downloaded and experienced that, plus got the book, and my curiosity was aroused. And it was actually in 2011 when Mohanji was coming to London for a shipping conference. My friend contacted me and said, Mohanji's coming. And I said, well, if he wants to, he's very welcome to stay at my place. And to my surprise, I hadn't even spoken to Mohanji by that time. He agreed. And the first time I met Mohanji and spoke to him was actually at the airport where I was receiving him, and he was coming home. And it was quite funny because I gave him some flowers when I met him at the airport. And as soon as he came, he said, I would like to offer these to Baba. And he gave the flowers to my wife and said, put it, at Baba's feet. So it was quite significant, that he should say that, because that all started off with this dream. And then as we had various sessions at my house and also in the center, many people started having these wonderful experiences. And this is how everything started kicking off. Mohanji, as he was leaving London after those 5 days, he said to me, if anybody wants to conduct meditations, please give them the CD. He didn't say to me, oh, you should conduct meditations. He just said, if anybody wants to conduct meditations, just please give them the CD. And so I started conducting my house and other people's house. And then from that, that's how things started growing. And then the very next year, we formed that foundation. And then, a few years later, Mohanji Foundation. So this is how the journey started. And as you know, sort of one thing leads to another. And Mohanji has been a very, very significant person in my life in terms of my spiritual evolution. We've set up this vegan cafe, which was his idea. Been to Kailash. He sort of helped me through my COVID illness while I was on the brink of death. And I've been to Kumbh Mela. He's given me various opportunities, and each time I'm very surprised at the opportunities that have been given. I remember the first time when I went to Serbia for a retreat. Mohanji said that if anybody wants to have a chat with him, then please let Bilyana know. So I went to Bilyana and said, look, I'd like to have a talk with Mohanji. Would it be possible? And she goes, you know what? He's told me that you're very, very connected to him. You should ask him yourself, why do you need to go through me? And each time when he's asked me to become an ambassador or even to go to Kailash or MIB, I've always been surprised as to why, why me? Why do I get that opportunity? And I once asked him that when he actually came, how comes you've come to our place? And he said, because of your eligibility. And so I feel extremely grateful and fortunate to have been given these opportunities.
Oh, that is so beautiful. Thank you so much for that. So regarding the council now, did Mohanji actually speak to you about that before he appointed you as a member, or vice versa? Or after being appointed, did you have an opportunity to talk to him about how he sees this council moving forward, developing, and your specific role in it?
Yes, he did. Mohanji's also done a similar thing with ACT. So he created the ACT Council, first of all. And so there's various people involved in ACT Foundation. So there's a global council for that. And then he spoke to me and he said that he'd like to do a similar thing for Mohanji Foundation as we grow to kind of, make things much more professional, to have more input from various people. So he did speak about this idea. Now, the thing is, I was also involved in the Mohanji International Board and also the Mohanji International Foundation. I'm board member of that as well. So it's almost like as if, we were part of this team and now this team has expanded. So for me, it's been more like that rather than, jumping in new. So for me, it's just a natural progression and evolution of which I'm very privileged to be part of.
Ashtamoorthy, you've also served on what was before the Mohanji International Board, or MIB, right? And what has been your role mainly? Let's not talk about the board because now it's progressed into the council. What do you bring on a personal and unique level to the council? Well, I called you money man, but would you like to elaborate on your personal involvement and unique involvement in the council?
Yeah, I mean, we basically get like, it's more of an oversight because each country has its own laws and the land and they have to comply with it. So it's hard. You cannot even read most of the stuff. I don't know, like the spread, the breadth of the organization. It's so vast, right? It's in the Balkans, the Serbian, and even the Switzerland. We have like two different languages, which I don't speak, but Google Translate has helped a lot. But so it's more on our side. You get the paperwork, keep the paperwork, keep the record keeping, remind people, okay, have you submitted the papers on time? Keep the it's more like Mohanji has created all these platforms. Now it's on us to nurture them, take it to the next level, or at least make sure that it is maintained well. So it's more of that role. We monthly we get the bank statements and stuff. It's not that we cannot. It's just an advice. We cannot impose on any of the countries because the countries have their own rules and they have to be independent. Their own boards have to take those decisions. But then a second eye will always help to just make sure that things are in place and they're moving. moving along. So that's where it is.
Yeah, awesome. And somebody has to do it, right? Because there's a lot of analytical stuff in having to know all the laws and financial laws of so many different countries, because this is like not just India or UK. It's a whole global setup here.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
the
and I've
council
been
also,
right. I've been lucky to have Christina and Katrina. There are a few other people who really help me out. Otherwise, and they can at least read the languages, which is really helpful also.
no man, that's really critical work as well. So, Vijay, what do you think has made Mohanji Foundation and its activities in particular, like today we look at it as a movement, right? What would you attribute this humongous success of Foundation and its activities to?
I think I would put it down to, I would say, purpose, conviction, and vision. And this is Mohanji's purpose, conviction, and vision. Because I remember when I first met him, and we used to chat very informally. He would talk about the things to come. And obviously, I'd only just met him at that time. And there's always the mind involved and thinks a little bit skeptically. And I remember, he was at this shipping conference, and we used to go together on the tube. And then I drop him off, and then I'll see him in the evening. And once he wrote something on a piece of paper, and he gave it to me, and he said, "Keep this. One day this will become very valuable and famous." And I thought, it was just a scrap little piece of paper. And so at that time, there was only AmmuCare. There was no other organization apart from AmmuCare. And so his conviction that things will grow to this sort of level, and his clarity of vision. And I look at, I've written an article recently, and I was going back to some of those old emails and things which I'd written at the time. And then I could see, that vision was already there. And so I think that with Mohanji, he knows how everything will unfold. And for me, I just feel it's really just an opportunity, a privilege, and a pleasure to be a little instrument as part of that. If it wasn't me, it would be somebody else. It's nothing special about me. It's just I've had that opportunity to be able to play that part of a vision which has already been mapped out. So that's the way that I see it: purpose, conviction, and vision.
I'm stuck on that piece of paper that he had given you then. Do you remember what was written on that piece of paper?
It was, to be honest, I can't, and I don't even know where that piece of paper is. Very careless am I. It was just the confidence and the attitude and the belief and the conviction. That was what struck me.
Yeah.
But that piece of paper, unfortunately, I don't know where that is.
We forgive you. Ashtamoorthy, you'd like to add to that? And as we conclude now this program, our conversation, I don't want to say interview, it sounds like, this is a hard conversation that we're having. Is there anything that you would like to add to this conversation?
Yes, yeah, as Vijay said, right, that purpose is driving everybody. It's like that driving force from Mohanji, that it's like, if you have ridden the Bombay suburban trains, you just stay on a platform and it will take you into the train and it just goes. But you have to be there, you have to be available to do that. And we are all so grateful that it happened. And it's not that everybody is important. It's not just everyone has to live that life and then show to the world. That's the whole purpose. Otherwise, we cannot move, because when people take notice, okay, there is a group of bunch of guys who are stable no matter what, and this is happening, and it is possible. That possibility, I think, we have to show to the world, and Mohanji will take us there. We have to just be available and take that first step and time and again, he has done that. I mean, he just lives that life, and we just have to, we have something to emulate, something to look upon. And so thankful for that.
I love the way both you, Ashtamoorthy and Vijay, have so beautifully spoken about stability. Stability. All the counselors bring to the table or bring to this group of 9 that stability, that awareness in higher consciousness, that availability. So that says a lot about the council members. So thank you for bringing. Is there anything else you'd like to add before I go to Vijay for his closing comments?
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, your closing comments, please, Vijay. It has been such a uniquely interesting and inspiring conversation for which I am truly very thankful and grateful to the two of you. So as we conclude then, the last words from you for today.
Thank you. I mean, one more thing that I would like to add to the purpose, conviction, and vision is grace, obviously. And I feel that grace has descended on me in terms of being part of this this council, and my gratitude to Mohanji for allowing me to be part of this and part of his mission, in a small way. And I just feel a lot of gratitude to Mohanji, and thanks. And thank you is a very small thing to be able to say for what you've received, but there's an immense amount of gratitude there and love for Mohanji, and my humble thanks for everything.
And it shows, it comes through from the two of you, from Ashtamoorthy, from you, Vijay, and from all the previous counselors from the previous sessions that we have done in the series. All of you, the humility comes through so beautifully, and that attitude of gratitude and surrender and willingness to make yourself available and to run with the vision that Mohanji sees and presents, because you have this faith and this trust, and you go with that. And not to mention the respect as well. It has been my absolute pleasure. Thank you so much. I feel very grateful to be able to talk to you today, the two of you. I wish you all the very best, together with the rest of the counselors, in your continued service in purpose to make this world a much better and brighter place. Vijay Ramanaidoo and Ashtamoorthy Kurur. Thank you and blessings to you. Thank you to M House Media again. Okay, thank you to Bojana Fabel today, as well as Nemanja Nedic, who are always there from M House Media to assist with the technical aspects. I'm truly grateful to all of you. Thanks again.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Ami, Bojana, everyone.